Hi everyone, it's Jasmine. Welcome back to the channel. So today, cars. So today I kind of wanted to do something different. So everyone knows Marvel's kind of in a mild hiatus. Black Widow has been moved to I think the fall time. Who knows if we'll actually get to see it? Things have just been put on halt. So I've been kind of like craving something Marvel related. So over the weekend, I decided, hey, maybe I should rewatch Iron Man, the first Iron Man. But then I was like, well, I kind of want to watch the first Captain America movie again. So what did I do? I watched both of them back to back. So today I just want to discuss how I felt rewatching these films, trying to remember where was I when I first saw these, and then just the different concepts of Phase 1 films. Sorry, we'll not be talking about Thor today or The Incredible Hulk because that is the only Hulk movie that I recognize. We do not talk about the other one that came out way in the early 2000s. I feel like you all know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about that one. But those are two films I will be watching again at some point because I do like them. I know some people think Thor was cheesy, but I don't think it was cheesy. I liked it. So, strap in, let's get started. So let's start with Iron Man. Came out in 2008. Goodness gracious, 12 years ago. And who knows when they started filming that? So it could be more than maybe 14 years ago for all I know. But starring Robert Downey Jr., directed by John Ferreira, who plays Happy, which I find that kind of funny. Even though he only directed the first two, they liked him so much they kept him on to be that character continuously. Man, make that money. This also starred Jeff Bridges, as Obadiah Stane, I believe how you pronounce his name. Then you have Gwendolyn Paltrow as Pepper Potts, and Terrence Howard as Rhodey. Now, it's so weird seeing who they first chose as Rhodey and then seeing where we are today. And we all should know, if you don't know, I highly recommend Googling it, that there is a lot of reasons why actors changed. And I'm not going to put my opinion on how I feel about that one. But it was nice to see the dynamics between Terrence Howard and Robert Downey Jr. and the fact that they were actually good friends in real life. You can see it. You can definitely see it. Man, I knew about Iron Man when this movie came out. I watched the random animated television show that I thought didn't exist until I rediscovered it on Disney Plus the other day. There was an Iron Man television show from the 90s that was animated, and it was really weird. It had Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, War Machine, Clint. What is Clint's code name? Hawkeye. Hawkeye. Someone who looked like they're from the Spider-Man series. Don't remember what her name is. And like all the Iron Man villains. So I knew what Iron Man was because of that show, and I kind of like Robert Downey Jr. He's a good actor. I randomly seen him in stuff when I was younger, so I was excited when this movie came out. Don't remember if I saw it in theaters though. That I don't remember. But rewatching it as someone in their 20s, 10, 12 years later, after the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe was barely getting its footing, it's just amazing the little things you notice in the film. You're just like, man, this is amazing. It's good, so good. I enjoyed the film, and the fact that it's so amazing to see how far Tony has come from. He started as someone who made weapons. He sold them to the military. He did not care how they were being used as long as he felt like he was doing the right thing, selling it to the correct side of the war, selling it to the Americans. And it's just so interesting because we were in the depths of war when this movie came out, and it shows in the film, and just how he started to become accountable for his actions. And it's so funny how this was the first little stone they just rolling and rolling. How Tony will take drastic actions to correct a wrong. Now, in the way he goes about it correct, but in the first film, somewhat yes. He didn't trust people afterwards, which is not a good habit to have. He kept to himself, which is also not very good. But when you are worried about your safety and the safety of others because you don't know if someone's following you and looking at you, like surveillancing you. I mean, stuff happens. It's it's just so insane how we were hinted at the Ten Rings and the Mandarin and other characters and how they could be bigger someday. The hints that we were going to get Iron Man 2 and that they were going to bring War Machine is, I love it. I just love it. Um, like, I don't feel like there's any flaws in the film. It is a creation of its time, though. Very. Like, stuff that people did back in 2008, we do not do now in 2020. But I like how Tony has a signature car. Is it a Aldi? I don't know what cars, like names of cars sometimes, except for like the one I drive and like the one my mother drives. I don't know anyone else's car. But is it an Aldi that he drives in every film? It's just an updated version every time. Like, someone please point that out. Let me know. I think it's the same car company. Um, But it's just so funny that that is the first film that kicked off everything, and it did so well that they got sequel. They got other films under that property. Marvel film grew, not fast enough because it got sold out and bought by Disney, but you know, I miss that movie. It's so good. So let's talk about the flip side. Captain America: The First Avenger. Now, when this movie first came out, I was not interested in it. I did not know much about Captain America besides the fact that he was an Avenger, I believe, and that he worked alongside Iron Man. That is it. I knew nothing. Nothing. Which is, I guess, was kind of good for me going into this film. Came out in 2010, 2011. I wish I had looked that up really quick. Hold on. Captain America. 2011. Okay, I was right. Came out in 2011. It was directed by Joe Johnston, who I don't know if he directed anything else from the series or not. No, because the sequel was done by the Russo brothers. So yeah, I don't know. But this film, I think, attracted me because I like history. And for some reason, when I was in elementary school and high school, I loved anything related to a war, which I feel like is kind of scary when you think about it. But it's just interesting to see how countries came up with new and crazy ideas of how to defeat their enemies in weird times of war, and how we either kept those and like changed them and like progressed them, or how we've left things in the past. But also, I like Chris Evans. I liked him as the Human Torch in Fantastic Four 1 and 2. There was no shame. I did not care. I liked those movies. I also liked him in rom-coms, like several. Like, the one he did with Scarlett Johansson, The Nanny Diaries, I don't even remember when that came out, but like, he's in that. Isn't that kind of funny? So, I mostly watched this movie, I think, when I was younger because he was in it. And because it was related to the other Marvel movies that came out. I was intrigued. Now, rewatching it, I forgot how quickly they get you to the main point. Like, we're not in America in 1940s that long in the beginning of the movie. Like, you kind of get a gist of, like, Steve and Bucky's life, and then Bucky's immediately, you know, drafted or enlisted, off to war. They say their goodbyes to each other, and you just see the dynamic and how different they are. But for some reason, they're friends. You got this one very tall, attractive dude, and the dude who's kind of skinny that everyone's afraid that they're going to like hurt him. But they're best of friends, and they don't fully judge each other. They get upset with each other as friends. And it's just so quickly, I did not realize that all that craziness that happened in the first 30 minutes. We get introduced to our villain in the beginning, which is, I'm going to call him Red Skull, because I don't remember what his actual name was. But Red Skull, played by Hugo Weaving, such a good casting. He plays villains very well. I enjoy it. I don't know how historically accurate everything is. I would have to ask someone, but I like the action. I like the build-up. I like us learning his character. The character film. That's pretty much everything in Phase 1 was a character film. You need to learn about these characters. They make you care about these characters. You learn about their morals, their strengths, their weaknesses, their flaws. And even though you don't see them fully, you are made aware that they are there. Even though they are fictional characters, they're human beings pretty much with extreme characteristics and abilities. Captain America, that I didn't realize that someone pointed this out on the internet the other day, is quick to jump into a fight, which is true. If you rewatch the first film, he's quick to action. He's quick to say yes to almost anything because he wants to be involved. He's quick to get into a fist fight with someone that he knows he can't win against because he needs to tell that person, you are not right for doing this. Like he said, he doesn't like bullies. So quick to fight, and that has been a character flaw for him. He's just ready to dive in without thinking, maybe I can't do this. But that's why I would like Steve. Steve's a good guy. I like the dynamic between all the actors and the characters in the film. Everyone plays so well off each other. I like how you didn't realize when it first came out, but you realized later on that they were setting up so many things to happen. So many different directions. With Howard, with Peggy, with the SSR and how that slowly progressed into SHIELD. Like, goodness. Cat, man. It's insane. Now, I did get mad because he could have just hurled off and dropped into the water. Now, would he have drowned? Probably. He probably would have drowned. I don't know. But crashing to the ice and then him getting lost in the ice, and because no one was really looking for people with planes like that, not hardcore. Everything was by boat. If you say you see a body of water, I'm gonna crash into it. But man, tracking systems sucked back then. Goodness. Um, but I like the little twist on history and little tidbits. I enjoyed it. I know it's not like the other Captain America films where they're more action heavy or more spy thriller or more political thriller. This is just a historical drama with action, and I enjoyed it. Both films are intriguing to show how both of these men get their start and how they evolve and then they get to a point in their life when they're like, is this how they're going to peak? Now realizing they're going to keep growing and growing and experiencing new things, and their peaks are coming so much later. I would say both of them were good character films. Both were good starting point for both of these franchises. They both had two more movies after each other. They're trilogy set. Only other person who's had that is Thor. Thor might even get a fourth one. So he's about to break that cycle. Now I'm thinking of breaking the wheel from Game of Thrones. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But these men who are pretty much the face of Marvel. We have Robert Downey Jr., who is the first, not the first Avenger, but technically movie-wise, with release dates, he is the first Avenger. He was the first one to have a movie that spun this franchise. While you have Steve is the technical first Avenger, historically wise, who made it a step. I feel like he, not a stepping point, not a stepping stone either. He was like a point, like this is a mark on the line that this is where we're going. This is how we're doing things. Every film's not going to be the same. It might feel like they're kind of the same, but they're not. Everything's have a different feel. We're jumping through time. We're getting you to where you need to be. Because I believe Captain America led right into the Avengers, if I'm not mistaken. I think Captain America was the last one before Avengers. I'm going to double check, but I believe that's how it happened. So it's like almost how do you end it? You have the starting point and then you have the end point almost. And then just seeing those two slowly collide later on. So I highly recommend rewatch the first couple of Marvel movies and just see how they started and how everything's different now, like the scale and how much money and the effects and everything, and then just how the dialogue is very different because I don't think any film besides maybe most of the stuff the Russo brothers touched had the same writer, most likely. And it's cool to see Kevin Feige's name in the credits and Stan Lee, may he rest in peace in the credits, and just seeing his first cameos is so adorable. Man. So, it's just interesting comparing the two. They're two sides of one coin in different parts of time and history making a statement. You have Tony making a statement on science and technology, and Steve making a statement on like patriotism and like nationalism and some other things. And how they both are products of science. Isn't that insane? Iron Man is something of a scientific and medical breakthrough saving his life. Steve is a scientific and medical breakthrough that enhanced him and almost cured him of all his ailments and prolonged his life. He survived being frozen in ice, probably in Antarctica, from how it looked. Or Canada. I don't know. But it's just like how both these men are science and medicine and engineering and a whole bunch of other stuff. But like how they use it is very different. They both help people, but in different ways, have different morals. At the end of the day, they almost see a point to the end. We have to do something to help others. We cannot be the reason something bad happened. And we need to take responsibility for our actions. But they do it differently. We see later on in Civil War and other Avenger movies, Infinity War and Endgame. Both ideas, both of these characters, you see it. So hopefully I didn't sound like I was rambling. Hopefully people agree with me. Like I want to rewatch everything and just see how different points in time and everyone's first movies were different. So most likely there will be one for Thor and the Incredible Hulk. So look out for those. Can't do Black Widow because her film hasn't come out. Hawkeye never had one. He's just in everything else. Is that all the Avengers? Yeah, because Hulk kind of had a movie, but it's a different actor. And then Captain Marvel, which I did a video on that way before I started this channel that I'm tempted to post on YouTube at some point because it's only on Facebook. I'll link that below. Please watch it if you want to. Please don't judge me for how I looked. So yeah. I mean, that's it for today. Please go watch Iron Man and Captain America: The First Avenger. They're on Disney Plus. If you have it, this is not a promotion. They did not pay me. I didn't pay them either. I'm watching on someone else's account. Hopefully they don't come find me for that one. But yeah, if you have a chance to watch it, please do. Like, might as well. It's not gonna be another Marvel related thing until like probably November. WandaVision comes out in December. I'm looking forward to that. All these Disney shows, man. I'm thinking of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was really looking forward to, but they had a halt production. It's okay. It's fine. So, alright. So like, share, subscribe. Please comment in the comments below. Which one do you like better, Iron Man or Captain America: The First Avenger? Or if you like both of them, please say why. I want to hear. I want to see. Also, don't get in a fight though. We're not doing the whole versus thing. Like, who's a better character? We're not doing that here. Just which film did you like better? Let's just keep it calm and civil. All right.